Howdy.
Hello. I'm just trying to rename myself so I'm not Jordan Engel anymore.
I completely understand. Did we get like an agenda last week? Is that where I would find it?
Actually, Lynn did send it out maybe about an hour and a half ago.
Oh, I don't have it yet. I don't have good luck with let me refresh and see why this is.
Hey,
Good
Jordan.
afternoon.
It seems like evening though, doesn't it?
I know I was ready for a little cooler weather, but it's the getting dark early that kills me.
It does. Okay, your hair's different. I like it.
Yeah, I got a little haircut.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Get my camera
I
back.
like it off your face more.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's nice. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, I had to try something new. Now I have like forehead. I gotta like see it's all like shiny right
Oh, that's too dark.
Okay, what did I do? I found the email. It
Okay.
just wasn't updated in my box, man. All right, I haven't signed up for the meeting tomorrow.
Well, I
Okay.
didn't, but I guess I'm assuming I'm gonna be the one that gets us launched for tomorrow, and Renette's gonna do the introductions. I guess we'll find that out, but it wasn't really one of super interest for me.
Well, see, that's my issue. It's my dollar, and
now.
I'm not. I don't want to not be supportive, though. I'm
Well,
not.
Naomi, if it's something like that, we could, and if we're asking you to do something on it, we can always give you the link to it. You know, I wouldn't expect you to pay out of your pocket to join something that, you know, if we're like, hey, Naomi, we need you to do this, then, you know, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's something that we can talk about. But
Yeah. I don't want. Yeah. I hate to not be supportive. I haven't done it yet because it's not. I looked at it twice and I was like, oh. I mean, I personally am just don't even want to be there. That's life. Okay. It just isn't of interest. So I could sign up and pay and not come. And that's might be what I do. Okay, here we go. Oh, how sweet. I'm glad I got to this. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? In the agenda. I gotta make that bigger.
hey, Lynn. Hey, Clayton.
What is up?
Not much. Just hanging in there.
It is so windy all of a sudden. Like all of my Christmas lights are coming off my house right now.
Oh, wow. It is
I
very.
know I had to put my inflatables down. They were
Yeah.
gonna blow away.
Awful.
But don't you? I love, like, everybody has stepped it up to like an A+ game for outdoor decorations for the holiday. Dilly and I are like so excited, and then two of my coworkers are on that map and have been on the TV and interviewed because their houses are so crazy.
That's awesome. We did take the girls last weekend and did some of that tour. It was pretty impressive. Pretty cool. We definitely need to step up our game.
Where do you find the map you're talking about? Is it online somewhere?
If you go to Keeper, and I can send it to you. I posted it on our Facebook for Lucas because we do have 2 employees that are on there. But if you go to Keeper, there's a map of the whole Tri-Cities and Benton City.
Okay.
And it shows you all like the super decorated houses. So one of our folks, Margarita Westfall, they live in Kennewick, and her husband did this whole outdoor thing, and I think it's even timed to music. And the other employee of ours lives in West Twitchell in the Bergmans, and they were actually interviewed also on TV the other night. And Dave has this has just escalated every single year. And I know his is all coordinated to music on the radio. But it's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm like, holy cow, where do you find the time to do this?
Yeah.
Well, I guess now you have a lot of time, but Dave's done this this is like his 4th or 5th year, I want to say, and he used to travel like all over the world for his job, but he would still like do this on the side as a project, and it's grown amazingly to this like super like, Sensky style kind of extravaganza.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I think I saw that on the local news, on Keeper News, that they had something, but I didn't go look and then I forgot about it. So thank you for
We'll
bringing that
have
up.
to go do that as a fun holiday activity, right?
Oh,
And come
yeah.
back and
Oh,
have
yeah.
cocoa, and I keep telling, we're not going to do it this year, but I keep telling my daughter, we are going to go and do the old school Christmas caroling, like go to people's houses and sing Christmas carols. And much to her dismay, I was like, I did this as a kid and it's so much fun. And we're going to come back to the house and have donuts and cocoa. So be prepared for 2021, because if you are interested, you are more than welcome to join us, and we will just go to neighborhoods and sing Christmas carols in the most horrible way possible. Not intentionally, but I have no voice at all.
Yeah. No, I did it when I was probably 6th grade to 9th grade, and it was great.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, guys, we are at 4:30. I know that Lisa sent us a note. She'll be a little bit late. Don't know if Stephanie's joining us. Katie's email bounced back to me.
Oh.
So I don't, and then
Katie, I'm admitting her right now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, and then I texted her. Okay, good. I texted her, but I never heard back from her. So I don't know if anyone else has gotten a bounce back email from her or not, but I did today. I don't know why. Looks like everyone else is here. Does anyone know if Renette's gonna be on?
She was on. I'm admitting her again. I just admitted her, and then I think she got kicked
Yeah, I
out.
thought I saw her pop in, but
I just admitted her in again.
Okay. Weird. Hey, Katie, did you change your email? I sent you a text.
Yeah, I responded to your text. I didn't change my email. I don't know why. Did you send it to my Gmail?
Yeah. The same one I always send it to. I haven't gotten a text from you. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I haven't changed my email.
Weird. Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as I don't know why it would have bounced back. I'll probably do another trial run to be sure it's good, because I don't want to lose you.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's run through this agenda. Thank you guys for being willing to push this to this week. It was a little bit crazy last week. I don't know if you guys heard through the news, but we unfortunately lost a team member at one of our facilities to COVID. So it's been a nightmare of the last week or so. So just trying to get feet back on the ground. So just appreciate you guys kind of hanging in there with me, knowing I couldn't do it last week. So I know we're all crazy busy. We're ready for the holidays, and just to find some good things in the last, I don't know, 11 months has been really hard to do. So we'll wrap up our last meeting of the year and hopefully have a good path forward for next year. So congratulations to Naomi. I just wanted to be sure that we all were on that same page and know how big this is for our chapter. So thank you so much for all your leadership with this program, with doing, the learning system and encouraging people to come on board and take the class, and then to do the classes for everybody. It's so much time. And as Jordan's nodding his head, I know he knows, as he did it for years, but it's a huge commitment. And it's awesome to now get to proudly display this cool little, our cool little sticker. So
Yeah,
congrats.
Sure. And thank you for saying that. But I'm glad there's something we can put on the website. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't see it out there, so I don't know that it's actually there yet.
She wrote a note and said she posted it.
Okay.
Stephanie. Yeah.
Okay, Amber, you saw it?
I didn't go out and look.
Right.
I have to go out.
She did write a note saying she put it on the website though.
Okay. Yeah, I was out there today looking at head count and I didn't see it, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm sure it's out there. I just missed it. So okay, good. It's awesome, and it's really, really cool. So, and I know that our state council is also aware. They made the announcement of this last month to our state council. So pretty cool that we got recognition for that. So
Oh, wow.
And then tomorrow is the diversity, equity and inclusion webinar. And I did include the link. Hopefully it works. But if anyone's interested, that link is there, so you guys can register and jump onto that tomorrow if you want to at 11. If it works on your calendars. And then we did not, at least I don't have any record of us approving meeting minutes via email for the November meeting minutes. So I did include them in our, I know Erin sent them immediately, and I think I just did not get them out to you guys or ask for votes. So hopefully everyone's had a chance to review them. If not, we can take a quick 2-3 minutes, walk through these and get them approved or make any suggested changes. So if you guys have a second to walk through those real quick, I would appreciate it.
Erin, will you give access to share screen? When it gets to financials, I want to share my screen, please.
I didn't even think about that. We probably could do that. I'm so used to WebEx. That's what we use like 15 times a day.
Can you do it now, Jordan? Are you able to share?
Oh yeah, it says so. Awesome.
Okay. No, I know. I'm with you, Lynn, because we use Teams too. We go back and forth. So it's like I have to kind of remember sometimes.
Jordan, I just wanted to be sure all those dollars were correct for financials. I'm sure they are, but that was where I would want to direct your eye just to confirm all those are correct for the November minutes. And then I don't have anything after, just asking to be sure you guys, your sections are all accurate. And then I would welcome a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Can we get a second?
Second that.
Thank you, Clayton. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, motion passes. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. And Erin will grab that so that we can document that those were reviewed and approved. Mr. Jordan, it's all yours, my friend.
Awesome. So first, and sorry for not sending them out sooner, but I'll share my screen with the financials. I got it working on the budget and forgot to send these ones out. Okay, can everyone see my screen? We got an income statement for 2020. So for November, we had meeting registration. We had three people register for a total of $260. We had 11 people register for a total of $260. No, for a total of $220. And then 2 people register for December. So that brought us to the 260 because we had the registration for December open at the end of November, which was awesome. We had our meeting sponsorship of $300 for our trivia event, which was amazing again, from Paylocity and Clayton working with Jason Carroll on that. And then we received 2 payments for the learning system, and then 1 payment for, it was the $50 fee because she already had the learning system. And then so we still just have 2 outstanding that we're working to collect. And then we had 2 job postings in November. We were busy with job postings, and we got one that was paid for December 1st. So a lot of people were trying to get end of the year people hired, and it's a process working kind of with everyone. Amber and Stephanie need to get the information, get them paid, get it posted, and all of that. So always looking at ways to better streamline that process, and always do well, because we have received quite a bit of money through that, even during this time. Obviously you can see there wasn't a lot during the main COVID, but as things started to pick back up, we had people start hiring again. That brings us to our expenses. with our only expenses really being the $300 for the underdog trivia, which was paid for by Paylocity, and then we had the speaker fee. So it still brought us in with a good net income for the end of the month, and and that is because we started receiving some of those learning system payments back. So year to date, we're at a good financial position, which is great with COVID. We do expect to receive another payment from SHRM in December. So, our financials should still be in a good position. But that just kind of leads us into budgeting for next year, which is just very difficult. It's hard to tell what it is that we're looking for. So I haven't received any financial information for anyone. So what I'm going to ask is if you have anything that you're looking at. So, I need kind of like Naomi, do you plan on doing a fall or a spring, study group, or do you want to do it once a year, or what are we looking like? And then Renette and Clayton, are we, how much are we looking at bringing in for speakers fees? How much are we looking to spend on that? And kind of as a group, what are we looking at? My first thought was that the rest of the first half of 2021 is probably going to be pretty similar to what we're doing now, with hopefully maybe that after the summer, maybe having a chance to go back to some type of in-person stuff. And obviously a budget is always just a guide, but it is helpful to get an idea of what people are thinking. I can go do it and just put numbers in, but I kind of wanted to have that conversation with everybody of what you're thinking and what you're wanting to do, so that you can have in your program area the budget and everything that you're needing. So definitely open for thoughts on what you think we're going to be looking like going forward. So if it's okay with everyone, I'm going to ask for any numbers to be sent in to me by the end of December. That way I can put them into the budget and have a kind of final proposal ready for our January meeting, so we can have that approved in January. And then kind of have that good guide to go with moving forward.
So Jordan,
does that sound reasonable?
What did we budget for this year for all together? Travel, attendance, that kind of thing. Do you have that number off the top of your head there?
Yeah, so what we had previously budgeted for 2020 was $33,000.
Okay, and we used how much?
And so we brought in year to date 15,000.
So, but that's not expenses, right? I'm thinking,
No.
right, I'm thinking expenses. Like, what have we spent this year as a board on travel, or basically I'm trying to look at what we budgeted this year for what you're looking for next year, and
Yeah.
essentially thinking cutting that in half, because when we budgeted last year, we didn't know about COVID, right?
Yeah.
And
No,
if you're
definitely.
right, which you probably are, it's probably fairly safe to say the first part of 2021 is going to be very similar. Hopefully we can open something up. So I would even propose, because I think we're probably all in the same boat. We have no idea what travel is going to be. I would love to get all of us to go in March, but I don't know that we're going to have that. I was supposed to go to DC this month. It didn't happen. Like, I think that if we just look at last year's budget, cut it in half and project that way, that might be a safe way to go forward. But I'm totally willing to listen and open to anything else.
Yeah. So last year overall in expenses, we budgeted 33,000 in expenses. This year we're at 14,000 in expenses. When conference and travel alone last year budgeted was 6,000, and this year we've spent $263.
Yeah.
So no, and that's exactly it. I think one of our largest things was planning for a lot of people to go to BLS and employment law conference.
Mhm.
And I mean, they're still going to do it. I just assume it's going to be virtual,
Yeah.
you know,
As
which
of
is
right
just a
now.
lot less expensive, which is kind of nice. And I think that's one of the takeaways from 2020 is that there's a lot of things that we can do that are very cost efficient, that are doing things virtually. And I even think for us in like programmatically, you know, we have some months that are, you know, either tend to be lower attendance or things like that. You know, I look at our summer months where we don't normally do anything, and that's when we started doing programs again. And June we had 26 participants, July we had 22 participants, August we had 16 participants, September 28 participants. You know, so I'm like, those are things that we can be doing of, hey, you know, looking forward, we don't have to go back to our previous model. We can have a mixture of like, you know, we'll do some Zoom meetings, some in person. It might be like, hey, programs, we'll do, you know, Zoom programs monthly, and then we'll do 2 all-day seminars what that's in person, or, you know, a kind of a mixture of things, because Zoom is obviously less expensive and a little bit less work in some ways and more work in others. But no, I think it gives us some opportunity. And it is, you know, it is a lot less expensive than paying for everyone's meals and flights and, you know, when you go on conferences and stuff. So no, that's kind of what I've been playing around with conference and travel. And I wanted to, you know, still have in there like at least one for NERMA in case that's in person, and that kind of stuff. So, you know, and that's, you know, so Lynn, if you'll look at kind of the travel things, because you're the president's the main one who has things to be traveling for. And we can always, I'd rather overshoot and say, yeah, let's put in 2,000 or 3,000 where we don't think we'll use that, but let's put it in just to be safe. So
Yeah. Okay. I will work to get some values numbers to you, Jordan. I should be able to do that by the end of this week, just to get some hypotheticals for next year
Yeah.
for any of my particular travel. But at this point, right? Who knows?
right. No, totally. Yeah, and that's fine. And if people want to email me, you can always pick up the phone, give me a call. You know, I know John would always call me and say, hey, let's just talk through this. And, you know, for some people that's easier. I'm open to whatever. I'm open and available.
What about for you guys, for the rest of you? Sorry, Renette. For the rest of you, is there anything in particular that you guys want to do, or, you know, is on the radar for next year that we want to think about, or something that you're just like, nope, no interest, don't want to be a part of it?
One of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about was, and not necessarily being a part of anything, but is trying to set aside maybe, you know, hopefully we can get people to do presentations for free, but also having that option of being able to pay some presenters as well. So maybe setting aside, you know, $200 a month, so $2,400 a year. Maybe we don't use all of that every month. And so if we don't, you know, if we have the ability to maybe bring in some bigger speakers because we don't use all of that, or if we want to try to budget some, you know, keynote speakers or something for, you know, a conference, then it gives us more options as far as, you know, getting people to speak, especially right now when we can get people from all over the country because we're doing a lot of things virtually. So it gives us a huge scope of individuals that can come and do presentations for us. So that's the only thought that I have.
This might be like totally taboo, so tell me if it is, but
no, just kidding.
yeah, it probably is. A thought that I had is like, for speakers, if we gave something in return, I don't know if we could even give out like a here's membership directory, or if that's even anywhere we want to go, or like here's who the person is wherever, that might get some people to speak for free.
To give them like our membership list?
Yeah, even if it's without the contact info, just like here's who's at what organization, it might get some more people to come present for free. Don't know if that's even a way we want to walk, but
I wouldn't be comfortable personally doing that. But if you guys would be, I'm willing to go ask the question, but I wouldn't be comfortable in giving our membership information out other than to those who on our board.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think maybe we could come up with like an in-between and maybe do like an analysis of what percentage of members are in which industry, and maybe that would be helpful, but it wouldn't be giving their direct personal information away.
Yeah.
That's just an idea.
Yeah, it might be easier to recruit free
Yeah.
speakers if they know here's what industries
Here's
are
the
represented.
industries that you'll
Yeah.
be speaking to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that too.
That's a good idea, yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think thinking to pad the budget a little bit for the possibility of having some funds released for speakers. I think that's probably a really good idea. And Renette, you're thinking maybe 200 a month or 24 a year, just as a ballpark.
Yeah, if we want to kind of, I mean, if we want to round it up, thinking of conferences, we could do that. I mean, my goal would be not to, if they want to do it for free, that's great. But I also do think that when you get people like Paul or, some of these people, they're all trying to make a living as well. And it does allow them to have an audience to grow their business. But as a group, I think it would also help to, small businesses that are trying to, thrive right now, that we are able to provide them something for their hour of time to present to people. Does that make sense? So trying to get both sides, like we're trying to get our audience educated, but at the same time being a group that is wanting to provide business to people as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it
$100 to $200 is, I mean, we've been trying to, try to budget for that. I think last year we had budget $2,600 in speakers fees, more for the conferences and stuff like that. The only thing is we just need the people to sign up for it to cover those costs, or the sponsorships to cover them.
Yeah.
And the sponsorships, again, just come along with the more people who sign up, the more people the sponsor gets in front of, and trying to figure out that balance. And it might be, looking at the December, maybe December is not a great time frame to do one. And it's always looking back and readjusting, because, I know it's a lot of work to get speakers and to do all of that. And so I have no problem cutting down the amount of meetings we do in order to focus on what's going to be the most beneficial for our members, as well as, the speaker themselves. Because it is, I have no problem, paying them. They're out there doing us a service, as well as getting out in front of people. I think those are great things that we can sell it to them as, hey, this is why you should come speak to us. You're going to be in front of,
and
it used to be like 40, 50 people.
Yeah, I always tell them, we are a nonprofit organization, and we are always looking to provide an audience for individuals. So I do try to sell it that way, but I also think that, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes that when they're there to make a living doing that, when you have someone that comes from the state or is getting paid for their time in general, that's somebody that I don't think should get paid. But when you have an independent business owner like Paul, or the other guy that we had speak, or several of the speakers that we've had actually, like Jan McDonald, those independent people, and they're not getting paid by an employer to come and speak, I think that those are the ones that we should look at to help. But Clayton, since Clayton's come on, he's been awesome at getting the sponsorships. So it would be great if we continue to get the sponsorships, and on top of getting the membership fee, that maybe we can still just stay where we're at and be able to provide those speaker fees to people as well. So I would like to see us be able to keep a balance of, in our budget, of being able to provide those fees, but also having consistent income.
Yeah. No, I think that's good, especially if we have it in the budget, then it gives you the go ahead of, you have up to this to get a speaker, above and beyond that. If someone's like, I need $10,000, then that's something you bring to the board, and we can, but yeah, we don't want you to have to, every decision come to the board, because we want you to be able to fluidly do what you need to do. So yeah, I'll put that in the budget.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, and Jordan, the only big financial thing that I can think of would be the membership event. Thinking optimistically, if everything is back to normal this summer, I'd imagine it'd just be a similar budget as the last one had been. But I don't remember that number. So if you could get back to me on that number, that would be the number that I'd provide you with.
Perfect. Yeah, it was 1,500, and we did it in
Okay.
September. We planned it for September. You want to stay in that September timeframe?
I think it kind of depends when all this stuff goes away. Because I mean, if we could do it in the spring, I'd like to do it in the spring, but maybe we have a better turnout in September when cases are completely gone, hopefully. So,
Right.
okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think either
And
spring or
and it can just be a
September.
placeholder, as we know. A budget's just a guide, and we'd rather put that money in there, and change it around later than have not put it in there and then go, ooh, we wish we had it. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we could plan on September for now, but then be flexible if the opportunity arises.
no, totally.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Naomi, did you have an idea of a plan for group or?
I can send you something. Honestly, it seems like we can't muster enough interest for more than once a year this last
Yeah.
2.
No, I agree. I mean, especially with the time that you're putting into it to actually facilitate it and instruct it, I think doing it once a year is fine. And then it's just figuring out which time of year. I would lean towards the earlier in the year because then they have a whole year of the learning system.
That
But
that is true. So I'm not opposed to offering it
yeah,
for the spring, and then if we don't get 6 people, we don't get 6 people.
yeah. No, definitely, yeah. And it really is. It just depends on them, and that's the hard thing is you can only want it so much for them, and they're the ones that actually have to do it. So okay.
Right.
Okay, well that gives me a good place to start with on that. And then we'll have that to vote on in January. Just a few other quick things that I wanted to run over. We got our renewal for member clicks, which is always a fun thing to look at and gasp. It's $4,600 for our website, and that's because in 2019 we went over I think it was 300 members or something like that. And so it pretty much doubled. And then it goes up, it went up another 5% this year versus last year. And it's a conversation we've continuously had of it's very expensive for a website, but it's a ton of work to move websites. So something to put on as a project thing when, everything's up and running. But, that's a very large chunk. Well, I mean, because if it was
Jordan, is that something that if I went through and I cleaned out our membership database, do you think that they would drop our rates, or are we stuck in that for the full year?
They would. Well, I don't know if we're stuck in it for the full year, but eventually they would. And I know that was a project that had been talked about is combining multiple accounts and stuff like that.
Well, I wonder if I can just kind of like remove the people that I know are, living in Seattle or, for whatever reason, or, if we have duplicates of members, but that would definitely be a big project, but I can start chipping away at it.
Yeah. And I think we can request a report from them of how many we have. I don't know if it's, we have 500 now and we have to be under 300 or whatever, because that's going to be a lot. But I just did the quick math, for this year, for 2020, our member clicks was 32% of our expenses.
Yeah.
Obviously,
all I know is like the number of members and member clicks is significantly higher than the reports I get back from nationals when I do our audits.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can just remove some of those members if they're not going to join anyways when I reach out to them. Would that be so terrible to remove them?
I just know people when they're prospects, they tend to, they'll use it every couple of years or something like that. So yeah. I mean, I don't know how that exactly affects it if someone's a prospect versus an actual member. I think for member clicks, it's just number of individuals in your system. So
okay.
I think that's a question, definitely.
Sounds good.
Oh, and then, yep, so applied for renewal for HRCI and got the approval, as well as SHRM. So we're all set for 2021. Once we start applying for actual certification renewals in 2021, then we should be able to have the seals for that. And then Renetta or myself can forward that to Amber and Stephanie to put on the communications and the website. Yeah. And then we talked about budget. So I think that was everything that I had. Are there any questions on the financials or the budget? I did see one other thing on there. If there aren't any questions, we budgeted to donate $500 to the SHRM Foundation. We've brought in this year about $130 for the SHRM Foundation. So we can choose to donate the whole $500 that we had budgeted. We can choose to donate the minimum, which is what we received for the SHRM Foundation, or we can choose a number in between or over or whatever. What does the board feel like doing for the SHRM Foundation? Because I know it's part of our annual awards that we have to have our donation. So I know they want it in ASAP, so I'll do it on the debit card. But just wanted to get everyone's thoughts. You know, obviously this year has been down financially, but we are still in a good position. Anyone have a strong feeling one way or another?
So I'm the risk averse person, so I would say just give them what we have brought in and not go overboard. That's just me as my personal financial view. And we are nonprofit and we've struggled obviously, and we've done a good job this year. So that would be my personal thought.
Yeah, I second that. I think it'd be cool if we could do the full 500, but just given everything that's gone on, I also think it's still generous to give them what we were able to raise.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. Sounds good. I will go ahead and make that donation then. Thank you all for your input on that.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. I know they're hard decisions, you guys, right now, because normally we would be like all 500 for sure, no doubt. But I think right now it's just, this has been one hell of a year. So I think it just makes sense right now to just not take too many big risks. We can still be bold in other areas through the board. So I appreciate that. Okay, so thank you, Jordan. Appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, sorry for the long-winded, I'll talk about financials. I know that's everyone's favorite topic. So.
You're totally fine. So let's just run through old business. I know Lisa was going to be a little bit late. So if we have to skip over, that's okay, or we can all cover it for those of us who are there. But Katie, run us through the membership stuff. It ended at the end of November. So just update the board on all that, would you?
On the competition?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the proof of marketing or whatever was due on December 11th. So I got that turned in, but I haven't heard back yet. But yeah, thank you, Amber, for getting all that promotion out. So I submitted it, and I don't know when I'll hear from nationals, but hopefully soon, and hopefully we'll bring in some money for the board. So.
And
Was there a
refresh
promotion?
my memory. Yeah, what was the dollars and the incentive? I'm sorry.
It was $15 for every join or renew. I can't remember exactly what the placing was. I think first place was 1,000, second place was 500, and third was 250. But I'd have to double check that.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll have the results soon.
Yeah, that would be good, right? And hopefully with the new membership person and Mark out, maybe he's taken the bull by the horns and he's running with it.
Yeah. So that guy, he just wants to be CC'd on any membership emails, and he seems super nice. So yeah.
Good.
Did we get a lot of new members?
I checked today, and we've only gotten 2 new ones recently. But I think that we had several renewed memberships. So I think if anything, that's what will help boost us. So I'm just hoping enough people renewed.
I renewed.
Thanks.
So at least there's one. I had my coworker renew as well. So
thank you. But yeah, I'll let you guys know as soon as I get the results back. But when I was on the marketing, or sorry, not the marketing, the membership call with everyone, a lot of companies, because Mark was like, oh, what is everyone doing to promote? And I was like, well, Columbia Basin is doing this and this and this and this. And then other people were like, oh, we have to have 2 pieces each month. And so it didn't seem too competitive. So I'm hoping to our advantage, even though that's not very nice of me. But yeah, so we'll see.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Katie. So we can just walk through real quick. We don't have to wait for Lisa, but she did a really good job organizing the underdog trivia. That was for those of us who made it, and George Seacott. It was super, super fun. And Jason was awesome with Paylocity. He was super engaging, super fun. I saw a whole different side of him, and it was cool because he brought his son in at the end. So just to me, it was really a good way to connect with him, and I truly enjoyed it. I think I was going to ask her because I couldn't remember what she said. I think they said because of the extremely low turnout, that they would do it again for us at either no cost or reduced cost. I can't remember what they said.
Yeah, so I was on the call with her when he said that, but that was before we actually started doing trivia. So I think that he meant if we ended up canceling that night, then he wouldn't charge us for that night. But I don't think he'd be willing to do it again.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like in the moment type deal.
Okay. So hopefully if Lisa can jump on, we'll see if we can tackle that one and just get some more details from her. I know that Clayton also sent an email out afterwards, just to really shout out to the sponsors and what we could do for our sponsors. So Clayton proposed maybe 2 additional lunches. Jason could come on board and we wouldn't charge him for a lunch or a sponsorship lunch, or for him or himself or his friend or whoever he brings with him. And then there was the Dream Dinners prize. I don't have any idea whatever happened with that. For the winning team, we didn't go get it. I haven't gotten anything, so I wasn't really sure if we were even doing it. So I think I kind of need Lisa on that one as well. But
to be honest, that probably was me. I never followed back up with her. She was supposed to send me, here's the date.
oh, okay.
Pick it up, and she never did. So, and I just let it sit and forgot about it. So
I'm totally okay with not collecting. I think it was a kind of a bust for our sponsors. And so I'm totally okay with not going and, getting our prize. As long as
Who was on the winning team?
the rest of the winning team was okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
it wasn't me, Jordan. That's who wasn't on the winning team. I should never be invited to trivia night.
It was so much fun. It was just super, super fun. And I'm really hopeful that we can do it again and just get a better showing, obviously. You interact with people just on a different level. And it was really fun to do that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So hopefully we can run through that again.
It's so much harder to get away when you're still at work. Like if I have to say, okay, I'm going somewhere in person, I can get away. But if I have to stay at work and do it, I get bombarded.
Yeah.
So if it's at like a different time, that would be easier for me. I don't know about the other people who couldn't make it.
Like what would be a better time for you? Like
So I typically get off at 5 o'clock. So anytime after 5, my own time, I can do it anytime after that.
Okay. I'm just thinking, there's probably a lot of folks that are thinking the same thing. So we can definitely look at a different option for time. I think that would be good. Okay. New business. So let's talk December chapter meeting. That is tomorrow. So if Renette and Clayton, you guys can give us the rundown on what that looks like tomorrow, that'd be awesome.
How many people do we have signed up for tomorrow? Does anybody know? Only 2?
It got up to 3. I'm refreshing right now. Yeah, it's 3.
Okay. And neither of the 2 that I saw were board members. So
Yeah.
I don't know who that third one is, but.
I mean, I still need to sign up, so I'll be there.
I'll sign up too.
So I'm just trying to figure out how we can get more people to sign up. And I'm just wondering if it is because people are at work and so they're having a hard time getting away, or what exactly it is, because this one we had pretty advanced notice. And I know, there was a couple months there where it was kind of, we're getting down to the last minute and stuff, but I'm wondering if we should just take a break maybe in January and let people kind of, go ahead, Erin.
I'm just wondering if maybe like you were starting to reference, Renette. I'm just wondering if with the holidays, maybe December and January are just not the ideal times to do
Mhm.
this. Because I think everybody's maybe already on system overload and this just is one more thing. I don't know. Because
It's
we
end
did,
of
I mean, we
year,
did a
it's
lot
all
more
kinds of stuff.
notice.
Yeah. Well, and it's end of the year too for a lot of people. January's end of the year for a lot of people as well, in the workplace. So, and people are trying to get their budgets ready and all of those things. So I was going to suggest maybe we did a break in January, and then that gives me some time to try to map out the rest of the year so that we have several months scheduled in advance so that we can possibly encourage people as we're moving along through each training. These are what we have, giving the upcoming calendar and really trying to, promote what we have coming up in the future. Maybe a good
Yeah,
idea.
So I just went and looked. December 2019, we had 13 people show up. So I think December is probably just not a good time frame because of the holidays. January last year had a bunch of people, but I think if we need time to reset and everything, then I think that's, I think especially this year, there's been a lot of stuff that we like, yeah, we're gonna do that. But I definitely think taking the time to do it right, and I think that's the smartest thing to do, because we've done a lot more meetings this year than, or I think we've done about the same amount of meetings this year we normally do, and we took 3 or 4 months off when COVID first started. So
yeah. I mean, I know I had told Lynn, but I got COVID, so I've been out of commission for the last 4 weeks. And so I have not even hardly checked email. So I am very behind at trying to get speakers, especially if we try to do something for January. I mean, I probably can get somebody, but I would rather not try to, rush getting somebody. And I also wanted to talk about topics, like what kind of topics. We've had a lot of, trying to encourage people through this time, stress relief type topics and all of that. But what kind of topics do we want to have in the future moving forward? I think that, it would be great if I could get somebody to maybe do a Zoom for the whole disability thing with all that's going on right now, or EDD or something like that. Those were some of the things that I had crossed my mind, but I don't know if anybody has any other thoughts. And then Erin actually had sent me a couple of people to reach out to, some professors, but yeah, go ahead, Erin.
I was gonna say, yeah, there were those 3 folks that I mentioned for diversity inclusion. Actually, Semi Bird is local, but the 2 others were professors of mine at USC, which are really good. I just don't know what sort of cost they would come with it. Although if we say, because there is a student chapter of SHRM at USC, they might be a little bit more forgiving. In regards to disability, I'm on a committee with veterans and disabled individuals with getting employment placement in the community. And part of the group is with that, what's the local group? But anyways, they did that building partnerships conference last year. It always kind of coincides the same time that the chamber has theirs. And
the
they
building bridges.
Was that?
It was the building bridges out at the track.
Yes. And the presenter that they actually procured for free was from DC, and she was phenomenal. And she talked about hiring people with disabilities and, the whole reporting aspect of it and compliance and regulations, but just kind of getting people over that misnomer. I mean, she was fabulous. And I did ask her and connected her with the chamber because I thought they should have her for the chamber's diversity conference because they usually don't address that area. And she was very receptive to it. So I can get her information if you want to look at something like that.
Great.
I
Yeah.
thought I really enjoyed her. I mean, she was like balls to the wall, not gonna take any shoot from anybody. But she was just really really simply laid out things. She was funny. She's a woman that, is not only a minority, but she has a disability. I mean, she was just like phenomenal. I really liked her. And I'm gonna
Cool.
admit Lisa real quick. So Lisa's here.
Okay.
So
That'd be
another
great.
topic that's hot right off the press here at my work is that vaccines are starting to come in. And do employers have the right to mandate that their employees get a vaccination? So that's kind of a hot topic right now. And since we're a FQHC government, our facility will be the first facility to have vaccines in our community. So as we get more, and then, do employers mandate that they get their people vaccinated? So I think that's going to become a very big topic here soon in our
Yeah, I
community.
think that would be a really good topic to do right now. Because, I mean, my mom works at Cadlick the other day, and she was talking about, the managers there wondering that same exact thing. So, and
Yeah.
myself, I'm curious. So,
Well, and the thing is, if we can help educate people, because there's so much information going on right now that people don't have the simple facts. And if we educate people, then maybe we can help relieve some of that tension in the workplace of people being upset or saying it's a left wing versus a right wing thing. So I just think it would help. I know it's going to be hitting my workplace here within this week. So
Yeah.
So to that point, we have on on my team's staff, we have the epidemiologist that's on the White House task force right now. And I don't know if we could necessarily get them, but our compliance team and our team has put together like a return to work and kind of employer guidelines for vaccinations and stuff like that. So I think I could get the head of that program, that safe return to work program, to come and talk, just not about that program specifically, but just, is this something that you can mandate? What are the different compliance laws? What's the pros and cons of each? So I could definitely reach out to him. He's out of Spokane, so I could reach out to him if we wanted.
So Clayton, I'll touch base with you about that then.
Perfect.
By the end of this week.
Cool.
And maybe we can do a duo with maybe them and is it George Chiotti or
Yeah,
what's-
speak
Seacott.
on.
yeah.
George
Seacott.
Seacott.
And maybe they can do a duo joint webinar or something.
Would we want to have like a medical professional discuss it too, or no?
Maybe we could have a panel.
Well, because I have a friend that she's a physician here, and she wrote a great, not speech, but a great reflection on the vaccination on Facebook the other day, and it was very insightful, and the pros about why she's doing it as a physician, and some of the people that are concerned about side effects and things like that. But she had a really insightful, well written out, very simple layman's terms as to why the vaccination is going to be beneficial. So that would be kind of cool, maybe if we did a panel too.
Yeah, because I definitely think there's the medical side and then the legal side, and there's so many other parts of it where, if we can do an all-day event, February, probably on that exact
We could do
topic.
a
'cause
half-day
it is.
pandemic
Call it to
Yeah,
COVID
I mean-
love.
vaccine.
I might have some trial and error experience by then.
All right. So that's kind of where we're at. Any other topics that anybody can think about or can think of? Maybe any technical type topics?
Yeah, I'll just say historically, the ones that are most attended are the legal stuff. That just tends to be what the larger group looks for. The
Yeah.
kind of, like you said, the technical, here's how to deal with this. And so You know, it's great to have the other things as well and the more strategic stuff, but larger groups tend to go for that legal
A
updates.
mix, yeah, it's good to have a mix of everything, but I think people are kind of COVIDed out too, like they're tired of hearing about COVID presentations and all of that. So trying to do something different around that, I think would be good too.
Would we ever want to do anything? Because I know there has been talk of that too, and that was the whole focus of my program at USC is the evolving role of HR being a more C-suite member and kind of the different aspects and facets that HR really kind of needs to possess now, like leadership development, strategic development. I don't know if we would ever want to.
I actually have a presentation that I've done several times. It's called HR Finding Your Seat at the Table, and it covers all of that.
And that might
Especially
be
now.
one we can apply for business credit for HRCI. That might be
I
one of
actually
those.
had, we did have credits for it. I think I've done it like probably 3 or 4 times, and they've all gotten credit for it. So, yeah, people really liked it because it gave them a lot of tools that they could use to. So, I mean, I could do it later on in the year. I think some of these, doing, something with George as well, or an attorney just talking about Washington law or federal law updates and all of that kind of stuff would be good too. As well as the vaccine, I think will be important. Trying to, as far as the disability insurance that started, at the beginning of 2020, where are we with that? What kind of changes have been made? And the building bridges for the disability stuff. The other thing I was thinking of was a handbook training to see if we can find somebody that can do, a technical handbook training. That's always a successful one. But any other things that you guys can think of. So if you guys think of anything, just shoot me an email. Like if you're hearing things or you come in contact with somebody from HR and they were like, gosh, I wish we got more training on this or that or anything, just shoot me an email, because those things it's always good to know. And I know we don't always get that stuff in our survey. I know we ask for it, but we don't necessarily get the information back. So
BBSI might be a good resource for a handbook training.
who's that?
BBSI, that's where Melissa
Oh,
Poff-
yeah.
and Rochelle Pavlin also is very good at that.
Okay. I'll reach out to her.
Okay.
To go back to Renette's thought of canceling January or not having something in January, I have no issue with taking a month off, you guys. I think we're all pretty exhausted from this year, and it just doesn't, as I'm sitting here, both of my phones are beeping saying we've had more COVID tests at work. So it's just exhausting, and I think we're all tuckered out. And I would be totally okay with taking the month of January off. Renette, I'm thankful you said something about your test. My prayers and thoughts have been with you and your family, obviously, at this time. It's impacting a lot of people. And like I said, we lost a team member at a facility. So it's just, I am A-okay with taking a break in January, as long as you guys are.
And while we're on that, I just want to share something really quick on that. Is a couple of things. Is I don't leave the house and I still got COVID. And so either I got it through my grocery delivery or I got it from my husband. He works at the city of Pasco. I did not have a fever, and I've had breathing issue with no chest pain. So just a few things that I think are myths out there that I just want to kind of throw out there is that, it doesn't come, we still get it even when we're sitting at home. So just be aware of that. And like I said, I think the only 2 ways I could have gotten it was through groceries. I was at the chiropractor's office the Friday before, but by that time I probably had already contracted it because I was sick by Monday afternoon. I was really sick. So just kind of keep those things in mind. And I never ever had a fever.
Did you lose your taste of smell, or your taste of smell? Did you lose your?
I didn't lose. My taste got more bland, but my smell I did lose, because I remember on Thanksgiving, that was before I got my test back, and I had gone in on Tuesday. I'm like, gosh, nothing smells in the house. Like, I'm all, does the house smell good? And they're like, yeah, it smells so good in here. And I'm like, it doesn't smell like anything. And I still haven't gotten my sense of smell back. So yeah, so I did lose that. My friends that were here, because I had a couple that had actually come up to stay for the week, they ended up getting it, and she lost her taste and her smell. So, but
It's amazing how it's impacting people differently.
yeah,
It really is. So I'm just thankful your beautiful face is in front of us today, and so thankful for you and your fight through it. So
thank you.
Yeah, of course. So I think I saw a lot of head nods that we were okay to just skip past January and kind of just spend a month to get our feet back on the ground. Let's still have a meeting, a Zoom meeting. I still want us to regroup and, kind of put things together for the year, but let's not worry about taking on a presenter for January.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds perfect.
Hopefully that
We're all set for tomorrow. Did the speaker got their Zoom link, Aaron, or who sends that out? Is that
I did. I sent it out a while ago, and I'm almost positive he confirmed. Hold on, let me see. So yeah, for tomorrow, then let me see. I did send it to Bryce. Sorry, I'm trying to expand my thing here. That's not letting me do it. I sent it to Bryce and you, Renette, Amber, and Stephanie so they could get the promo out. For whatever reason, I'm not being able to pull up if he responded. I'm pretty sure he did. It's not letting me see it on my scheduling assistant. I'm almost positive he did respond to me. So tomorrow, I'm assuming you want me to get on to kind of just be there to set up for like any technical issues or anything like that, and then kind of be in the background. And then Renat, are you going to introduce Bryce then?
Yeah, I'll introduce
Okay.
him. I'll be on about 5 minutes before this is my last class that I have just before this. It's always a little hectic, but it's my last one.
And I did get the screen for the credits from Jordan.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan, for doing that for me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Not at all. Please, whenever you need it, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to do it.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's run into, hey, Lisa. She popped in, you guys.
Yeah, sorry I was late. I was doing training, so.
You're totally fine. I had you for old business for the underdog trivia recap, and we kind of went through it together for those of us who were able to attend. Just a couple decisions. One was we will just go ahead and let Jason have some free lunches if we can ever get back to this craziness because of his amazing Paylocity sponsorship with us. He continues to just support us so much. So we're just appreciative of him. And then the Dream Dinners prize for the winning team, no one's collected that, and we're totally okay with not collecting that because at this point, I don't think there's any reason to do that. And then the only question I had, and Katie gave me some feedback, was those guys that did the underdog, was it that they were willing to do another one at a reduced cost because of the turnout, or was it if no one shows up, we'll schedule another one at another time? I couldn't remember.
I kind of felt like, I don't remember exactly, but I felt like when I saw his message to me, he either told me or maybe he sent me a message, an email. I can't remember, but I felt like he would do it for us again at no cost.
That's what I thought too. That's what I thought too. And maybe that's because I read your email or something, but let's, do you think you could follow up with him and just let him know, hey, we want to try it again in the first part of the new year as a board and as a chapter, and just see what his thoughts are and what he can maybe give us in writing?
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I thought I was going to bring that up in the group here so I could just, if you guys wanted to, I think it's a good option to explore. Yeah. Why not?
You're right.
Yeah, if he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
If we did like wine and trivia, so everybody brings a glass of wine.
How about a fifth of vodka and trivia?
Okay, I could do that.
Kind of where I'm at these days. So Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea and we can promote it that way. I think that's brilliant. I just wanted to get clarity on, because I swore that's what he said,
Yeah.
but I was like, meh, that almost seems too good to be true, but we
Yeah,
are.
I
we're a
think he
pretty fun
just-
bunch.
Yeah, I think he just felt really bad for us because we had a very small group.
I
And
know.
so, yeah, I'll reach out to him definitely and I'll
Okay.
follow.
Thank you. And then did you have anything else that you wanted to add? I know Aaron does a great job with catching up on meeting minutes, so you'll be able to read through what we went through, but anything additional that you wanted to bring up or add?
In general, I'm not sure if we were going to talk about the foundation donation. Did we bring that up?
We did talk about that in
Okay.
Jordan's financials, and our decision was that we were going to donate the approximately $130 that we brought in for
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Just because, you know, this year's been tough. We are
Yeah.
going to give them what we can, and we're going to hold on to that additional $370. So,
Yeah,
okay.
that's good. Yeah, no, anything is good, I think. And so it's what we collected. So it makes sense. I just wish we could have done more.
That's,
You know, but yeah, it is what it is. So,
yeah.
okay.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that was the only other thing I had.
okay. Okay. Awesome. So more reports, director reports. I will probably take John off of these as of January. He is completely through with the board now. But at year end, I wanted to just have him on there for one last hoorah. I'm going to see him probably on Friday. He's gotten a couple packages for me. I don't know why they're addressed to him. And then Naomi, he said he had something for you as well. And maybe you're nodding like you already know this. So I'm going to meet with him on Friday. Did you want me to pick up your package as well? Or are you arranging something different with him?
I did. I got the impression he got email for me that I'm sorry, just mail.
Okay.
But so if there's something to pick up, that'd be nice of you.
I
And
will grab it and then I'll just reach out to you and let you know what it is. I
Okay.
don't know what he said. I have 2 boxes from VLS, and I'm thinking, what in the world are they sending us? Unless it's a whole bunch of stuff we can hand out at chapter meetings, in which I'll just give to you guys. We can have a bunch of paraphernalia, I guess. So I'll see him on Friday, and of course, that will probably be one of the last times, if not the last time, that I see him. We just don't cross paths much, and he's so buried in work, as are all of we. But definitely has been a blessing to this board, no doubt. So,
Lynn, do you want to either get his debit card from him or have him shred it or something like that?
yeah, does he still have it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just write a quick note. Give me your card. Okay. I will make a note of that and grab it from him on Friday. Thank you for that. And then the only thing that I had was that I submitted Cliff on the CBSHRM behalf on the 25th, and we met the deadline. So we're good to go on that. That's essentially just a head count and overview of all of our board members with email addresses, phone numbers, all that kind of stuff. So I just had that updated and sent that off, and we are in compliance and good to go with that. So, Jordan, anything further?
Nope, I think I talked enough about financials.
We love it. You're so brilliant with our financials. So, Miss Katie, anything more? I added the Mark Perry exit. So, Dale, you guys can read that on the agenda. Dale Cyrick?
Yeah, I don't remember how to say his last name.
Okay. He's the new Washington membership director, and I will always hold dear the memory of Jordan and I sitting and meeting Mark Perry in person at VLS.
I forgot to meet him.
Oh my gosh. We walked away from that table and I lost it. I'm like, this man, it was awful, you guys, awful.
Oh, no.
Awful.
Yeah.
I thought you were
got a
gonna
little
say he was
piece of what
amazing.
Lynn was having to deal with in the 30 seconds we got to talk, or the minute or two we got to talk to him. I'm like, oh no, like, you know more than he does.
Oh,
And
no.
So bad.
oh,
Yeah, and the new membership director, he was like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing yet, but I'll start learning. I'm like,
Don't
Here-
learn from Mark.
yeah, it'll be an adventure.
So Jordan, I will always hold that memory dear to my heart, because for that moment it was like, yes, Jordan gets what I've been dealing with. Oh, bless Mark's heart. We wish him all the best, Katie, if you have a chance to talk to him. Amber, what do you have? Anything for us that you want to review?
Katie, I sent you an email a while back. I got an email saying that I'm a member at large. Could you check to make sure I'm not in the wind?
Yeah, sorry, I thought I replied to you. I got that email too, and so I emailed the membership, and I don't remember if they emailed me back or not, but thank you for reminding me. I'll look into that because I got one saying that I was not affiliated with CBSHRM either, and I was like, I'm the one affiliating these people, so
I had a coworker ask me about it too.
yeah.
I think I got that same type of thing, and I just went, "You guys are wrong."
I think
Kind of
it was.
put it in the back of my mind.
I'm assuming it was just like a technical difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
because I went onto my SHRM account and I double checked that I still had the designation on there, so I was like, okay.
yeah, so I don't know. Let me look into it and I can email them again and just see, because I know that we obviously all are affiliated with CBSHRM. So
I was like, I'm sure if I wasn't, Katie would let me know.
I'd be like, Amber.
Hello.
Yeah, no, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Another thing with the Zoom meetings, did we get it changed to where people are automatically admitted into the chat room, or do we still have to approve them to be in?
We approve them to be in. However, we did fix it so that there's multiple hosts so that the person that's speaking doesn't have to let people in. So Erin can be a host, and sometimes one time she transferred it over to me to be a host as well as the person that was speaking, so that people aren't sitting in the waiting room.
Okay, that's one complaint that I got. Somebody's like, I paid the $20 and I sat in the waiting room for 20 minutes. So I just want to make sure we hear that.
I think we fixed that.
And there's a way, once we're ready to let everybody in, then we can disable the waiting room, and as they join, then they can just join right in.
Okay.
So there is a way to do that. I think I showed Naomi.
You're right, there is a way to do that. Yeah.
And I think I showed Aaron that, and so there is a way to do it. And that's just easy because, once we're like, hey, 5 minutes before anyone's able to go in, you just uncheck the waiting room and then they just join right away. So.
Okay. I also put out some posts last night reminding people about the meeting tomorrow. And then I put out the email that you sent me, Lynn, about that other, I can't remember. I'm losing track of everything. But so maybe I was thinking that maybe, with us taking January off, maybe we can do like little tidbits that we put out on the Facebook that update, or LinkedIn that update people more about just little things. So if you guys want to send me some ideas, I can maybe try to flood our social media a little bit more so it keeps us in people's feeds so they keep thinking about us. So when it comes February, people will be like, oh yeah, I need to get back to those meetings.
What I can do is, as I start getting the speakers set up, I can kind of give you a brief little synopsis so you can start posting those, like, in February, we'll have this person. In March, as we start booking people, maybe as we book them, we can kind of update.
Like a save the date.
And even asking them, what do you guys want to hear about this year might be a good question. Maybe we'll get some response to that.
Maybe I can do a survey that talks about topic type or something that people want to hear about.
Wasn't another thing that we talked about, like doing a member shout out or something?
Yeah.
Too. That maybe for a filler month would be a good thing to do.
I know I have been so slammed since I started my new job, and I'm still helping at the Red Lion. So I still have connections there when we go back in person. But, and then it's like trying to get Christmas shopping done has been kind of a nightmare. But I want to try to be a little bit better about getting some stuff out on social media. So if I can have maybe a weekly topic that I can put out, and if you guys have ideas or want to write something up and just forward it to me, I'm more than happy to do that. If you have something in your workplace that's like a hot topic that you're like, oh, I would like to share this with people. Which also brings me to the newsletter for December. Is there specific things that we want to talk about? I didn't get one out in November. I don't know where my time went. I lost it. But we can just say happy holidays. Do we want to talk about anything specific? Do we need more board members? Are we good on board members? Do we need a certain position promoted?
I don't think at this point in time we need anything promoted. Both Paul Casey, Eric, Katie, what's his last name? Lobos?
Lobos, yeah.
Yeah, both of them are very interested in being a part of the board. So there's definitely at that point we have the interest, I think, at least from those two. So I don't think we want to promote any board space, because I sent Jordan a note because I like all of a sudden I had like 4 people. I'm like, Jordan, what did I miss? You know, but
My newsletter.
yeah, I know, right? So yeah, no, I think we're good on that, on how that goes. But I love the shout out. I think it's really important to put one of our members in like a highlight, what they do, where they work, what their family, you know, if they're willing to do that. Yeah, I think it's obviously everything is COVID right now. Everything is pandemic, and while it's nice to address some of that, it's also nice to move away from it and have something different to read about, you know. Right. But everything is so political and COVID that it's like we're just missing what the main part of this whole month is, you know, and what's to come. So
how about we give a shout out to Paylocity for free, since they did promote the stuff. Is there maybe like some verbiage that we can get somewhere, or just maybe just like kind of a sales ad type for them? I don't know, just something to kind of promote him, since he has been such a great supporter and sponsor.
Clayton, you probably have some stuff, right?
I do have some stuff, and maybe to make it more personal, because I think he covers the whole Tri-Cities region. Maybe we could make it more like about Jason, so that it's not so pushy sales,
like
but like introducing Jason.
We want to thank Jason for being
Yeah.
such a big contributor to the CBSHRM type of thing.
I will work on that, and I'll get something for you, Amber.
Okay. Is there any other things that we would want to put in the newsletter? I know that, you know, we probably want to keep it short and sweet, you know, don't want pages and pages. Should we put something about the study group coming up in spring?
Erin has an idea. She's raising her hand.
I'm trying to be like, welcome back, Kata, you know? I was just going to say, for the nonprofit newsletter that I work on, if we can't get a member, we always feature like, we have different committees, like a committee member or a volunteer member or a board member. So we could always feature like do a bio on one of the board members and kind of what their role is on the board, to maybe get people excited if we do have some people that are going to be transitioning out too.
Maybe a thank you to John or something.
What's that?
Maybe a thank you to John.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say,
That would be
that's what I was gonna say.
great.
I was gonna say like a farewell to John, because he's leaving, and then I don't know if we want to do something for the SHRM Foundation, you know, to do a little talk about, I mean, plug that as well too, right? I don't know if we want to add something in there too.
Yeah, I have those already I have those ready to go for Amber on the foundation one, so we can have that put in there. And I was thinking even the sponsorship of the gal who had the meals too. I mean, she did that for us. It may not be a bad idea to put that in there right now, and supports her small business, and you know, as a thank you for our sponsors or any other sponsors we've had. Maybe it's like a thank you for the holidays or something.
Right.
People that have supported us
Creator
through
sponsors
2020.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any small like quotes or nuggets that we got from either the trivia or the training that we did in November that we could plug in there too, of, you know, thanking our speaker, as well as here was an aha moment that we had from that presentation, or, you know, something like that.
Yeah, what was it that Paul Casey always said? He was the one with the smiley faces, right?
The finger.
No, the smiley face guy. Paul Casey had the finger, the big.
Who was the super optimistic?
Yeah, well,
Like one of his quotes, and then
yeah, was it Brian? Yeah,
I think it was Brian.
I'm trying to find my notes.
That's not a
Yeah.
bad idea, like some takeaways of the
Yeah.
training, like something highlight just to
Just to
not a
promote
big
that, you
thing.
know, these are the things
Yeah.
you're missing if you're not
Yeah.
showing up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, I was just thinking he's so optimistic. Maybe just like a, something that he said that, brings light to.
Mhm. He did say a couple of things over and over again, huh?
Well,
Maybe we can look at the video. Maybe you could take a look at the. Sorry, my husband just came home and the dogs are excited. Fun.
Yeah, it could be
And-
like in case you missed it. Maybe that's the title of the article. In case
Maybe
you
just
missed it.
check out the video and see if you can
Yeah.
nuggets in there, Amber.
One, because Renette, you were also typing some of the stuff in the chat box, and we get a transcript of the chat box when we have the recording. So, Aaron, maybe that's something. If that was October, I might have those. I'll look to see if I have those or if you have them, Aaron. 'Cause part of the recording is the transcript.
On Zoom? Because
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd have to go and look. Because I wasn't there. I'd have to go look and see if there are transcripts for that.
I have them for September and October. So I can look through the ones that I have. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your question. This was Matt Jones.
I also wanted to remind everybody that I'm not at the Red Lion. I mean, I still have my email there, but I don't check the email because I'm just kind of helping them because they never hired an HR person. But if you switch my email to amber.l.melling@gmail.com, that's where I'm going to get your information first because I have emails going to like 3 different locations and I'm having a hard time tracking them. So if I'm ignoring you, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't get the email timely.
All right. So you got some ideas, Amber?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'll start a shell and then I'll send it out to everybody and then you can put your input in so I'll wait kind of with Clayton to get information from Paylocity, like a shout out to.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I
I'll
think I've
create a shell.
Amber, I think I asked before, we can't do video snippets in our newsletter, can we?
I don't know. That's a Stephanie question.
Okay. Because we
But-
could do like even a little snippet from one of the guest speakers in there.
And maybe we could just do that on the website itself and just put it out like when we did the call for speakers. I just put a PDF out, Stephanie put a PDF out on the website. So maybe we could do something like that.
Okay.
Worth asking.
Could we do one of those pictures from when we did trivia? They're not the best photos, but it's kind of fun. Like, here's an activity that we did.
Yeah. Show that we're real people.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
See what happens, Amber? Now you have all kinds of content.
Well, and that's what I need because like I said, my brain's just kind of fried at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Lan, I wanted to give you my condolences on your employee. I know that's
Thank
really
you.
tough.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks for sure. So thank you.
Well, if you need anything, I'm sure as everybody else, let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, Amber, was that about it for you then? Are you good? You feel good about? Okay, perfect. All right, Miss Erin, do you have anything you want to share with us?
I do not.
Nada?
Mine all comes after. So I'm good.
Okay. And then Renette and Clayton, I think we, oh, that was the only thing that I wanted to bring up was I really, really, really want us to do a joint chapter meeting with the region, whether, you know, Blue Cross, oh my gosh, Blue Mountain out of Walla Walla or the Yakima. I really would love for us to be able to push that maybe February, March timeframe. And then I would really like our chapter to initiate that. I just think that would be really cool. So when we come across those bigger, spendier speakers, we can definitely reach out to those other chapters and say, hey, here's what we're thinking about doing. What do you guys think? And pursuing that. So that's my only ask is if we can work through that this year. I would love to do that. And I think it would be really, really beneficial. Several of our chapters are not doing as well as we are with membership, financially, et cetera. And I think it would be really cool to just kind of wrap our arms around them and say, let's do this, you know? So I don't know if we could do a February, March timeframe, or at least start looking at it. That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
I think it would be really cool.
I will reach out to you and get some info.
Yeah. Perfect.
Contact info.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Thank you guys. Clayton, do you have anything more?
No, I think that was pretty much it. I did have a thought earlier, and this is pretty like unfounded, and this is just me and my big idea head. But it seemed like from Naomi's standpoint, like we used to do that 2 times a year for the learning. I'm not gonna say it right, but the learning stuff. And now we're doing it once a year. I don't know from the analytics standpoint of like our membership, like Katie brought up, my bet would be just based off of who's been on the calls that I've been on, most of our membership is over the age of 30. Fair bet, not a fair bet, I don't know. Yeah. I wonder if there's from like a sponsorship side, if we could partner with like a business club at WSU Tri-Cities, CBC, get some folks to maybe sponsor a learning thing for one of the students. And then that would help us grow that younger demographic within SHRM once they graduate, get a job in the Tri-Cities and already know about SHRM. I don't know if that's something we want to tackle. That's really unfounded, but just a thought that I had.
No, we used to sponsor both CBC and WSU Tri-Cities every year. So we would do a scholarship, $500 scholarship for CBC, $500 scholarship for WSU Tri-Cities. That was to go to someone in HR specifically, but kind of business. And we dropped CBC after a while because they didn't have any type of program that worked within the scholarship we were trying to give. WSU Tri-Cities, on the other hand, was able to find kind of an HR student. But no, I mean, we've definitely sponsored and done those scholarships before. You know, college relations is a director area that we've worked on before. It's kind of one we've dropped off in the last few years because we weren't seeing a huge support for it. But always, if we have someone who's interested in doing that kind of thing, I mean,
I'm not even
because it didn't work before doesn't mean it won't work in the future.
Yeah.
You know, I think it all depends on the person who's working through it and all of that. But
because I'm just thinking, like, how do we boost our membership across the board, right? And like, if that's our biggest gap, and that's just based off of the 5 different calls I've been on, there's not a lot of younger professionals on it, except for you guys. Every one of you is super young, is what I meant to say. But if we could target like, hey, here's a way for you to get a certification if this is what you're looking to get into. It's sponsored by XYZ. I could focus on that part. You'd think that most of the people that go to WSU Tri-Cities and CBC are probably going to stay in the Tri-Cities afterwards. Maybe that would be a way for us to slowly start growing that demographic of our membership. Like I said, big idea. This is what happens with my tinfoil hat all the time.
Where do we advertise about membership? Do we advertise at all?
Oh, sorry, I thought Katie was jumping in. It's on our website, Renette. But other than that, really, we don't advertise per se. We don't really advertise anything from a board perspective or a chapter perspective, but you know, on that front page of our website, it's there. We wrote that up and clicked the link there.
Yeah, I think that, and then the social media platforms as well.
So if people weren't familiar with the fact that there is such a thing, they would not look for our website. So,
Yeah.
so I kind of see the college relations point when you described it, Jordan, where somebody would need to liaison to make sure people realize there is this. And apparently a lot of people take this training at this, you know, certification training at their college. I guess it's something to ask WSU, do they even have a human resources major in the Tri-Cities, in other words? I wouldn't imagine they do, but.
Yeah, because I don't think they have a specific one, but they kind of try to find a business student that that likes it. You know, and it is for us, we tend to, you know, chapters tend to be driven from the top down, meaning SHRM membership gets driven into the chapter because you can't be a member of our chapter without being a member of SHRM. So that, you know, we're kind of bottlenecked in that way, but that can't mean that we can't get the news out of, hey, we're awesome, you want to be a part of us, you just need to join SHRM. So, and that's,
I
you
could see
know,
it being promoted to people with small businesses too, because they have to handle everything.
Yep.
But
That's something to think about. Okay, thanks for bringing it up, Clayton.
Well, and the other thing, you guys, is we do have a college relations position that we could put back onto our board. We used to have it, and then now we don't now. Just go ahead, Erin.
I was gonna say, I think that was the role that I wanted. I got secretary.
Yeah, we did have that role.
You can't leave secretary because you're too good at it. So.
I know, right? It's like Jordan, never can leave financials, you guys. Everyone says that. But I think, I mean, it's definitely something to think about and to look at. So Clayton, I mean, I appreciate your foil hat, you know, I mean, we can think outside the box and figure out, you know, maybe Katie, we can all give you some thoughts and ideas, because there is that role that we could put back on the board. We just haven't, just because we haven't had interest in it.
Yeah, and I think the opportunity is there because when I served on the board at Central, we were always looking for, you know, people to present to our group. And I think just going to different colleges and presenting would also help with that. Especially if our board members presents, then it's like, here's what it looks like after college, because just that insight of having it while I was in college. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what SHRM was. I did it because my professor told me I should. So I don't know, help as well.
kind of like a mentoring program.
Yeah, he was like, hey, you're going to do this. I was like, all right.
So maybe we can mull that over and we can talk about it in January.
Yeah. I have to hop off, you guys. I have a call at 6. I'm sorry.
Okay.
bye, Naomi.
Merry Christmas, Naomi.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, guys. So Naomi was next in our presentation. So, but just really, really proud of her. You guys, she worked her butt off to get that award. So we're pretty proud and excited. Stephanie is not here, and Lisa said she didn't have anything more for SHRM Foundation. So, does anyone else have anything left or more?
Lynn,
No,
so with us,
Oh, go ahead.
so with us not doing a January meeting, and even doing it through Zoom, I guess, what is the thought about how we're gonna elect board members and seat board members? Because normally we would, you know, have the election at our, you know, January
I think we did it
in-person
in
meeting.
March. I think we did it in March this year. We were trying to do it in March, and so we never actually did it. Yeah.
And I think that was just because we were late from doing it at the beginning of the year. I think we can do it electronically.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We can do it electronically. A lot of chapters have been asking that question on a lot of calls. They're actually writing it into the bylaws now that you can do so much more electronically now. So Let's put that, Jordan, on our January agenda.
Perfect.
Thank you for that. And then we'll go from there. Erin, did you have something else?
No, I was gonna say, I think I was gonna,
Oh,
I don't know,
right.
maybe Aaron does, but I was gonna say something real quick. Is just that I just want to thank you guys. You guys have all been awesome. I mean, everything just kind of moves so smoothly. And even if we do things at the last minute, it's like we have a great team. So really want to thank everybody for jumping in. And Clayton's been awesome at getting sponsorships and being a backup, for me for the last month, taking some emails and stuff. And so it's just been, it seems like whenever we have something, it's a smooth transition. And if it's not, our members don't see it and we just get it done. So it's awesome.
I echo that, Renette, and I'm so thankful because we lose sight of this stuff and then we get together and we're like, oh my gosh, I have this meeting. And then we get on the meeting, we're like, okay, it's all good. Everything's good, So totally hear that and appreciate those comments for sure. We work together really, really well, you guys. It's a good feeling. Okay, I think we're good. Does somebody want to motion to adjourn said meeting?
I'll motion to adjourn and say Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.
I second.
There we go.
Christmas.
Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, guys.